Thanks for joining today's Snapshot for Monday, October 5th. Yesterday after church at Dr. Martin Luther Church, I was looking through Luther's prayer book that I got from my wife's Aunt Ellen, Luther's Prayers, and I found this prayer on after having attended divine services. And I was praying these words from Luther. Oh, dear God, give us grace that like Paul and David and other saints, we also may highly esteem your treasure, which is the same as theirs. Help us to cherish it above our possessions on earth and to thank thee from the heart that thou hast honored us with it in preference to thousands of others. Thou couldst have let us go astray, as have the Turks, the Tartars, the Jews, and other idolaters who know nothing of this treasure. Man, I stopped praying. These words condemning these other people in the midst of a holy act after prayer, after worship, I didn't feel it was appropriate. And I have to remember that in the latter chapters of Luther's life, the last years, he became very vociferous and polemical against the Pope, the Turks, about whom he meant Islamic people from the Ottoman Empire, and Jews, as well as people that we don't know about today, Tartars, or sometimes Tatars, from north of the Caspian Sea. What was going on? Luther was very disappointed when the Pope, as well as Jews, did not accept justification by grace through faith. He thought it's evident that that should be the goal of every person of faith. And when they didn't go along, he went off the rails at the end of his life. Turks he was against because this Islamic Ottoman Empire was laying siege to Belgrade and to Vienna during the latter part of Luther's life. And so he was inspired to write things that compared Jews and Turks to Gog and Magog in the book of Revelation and Ezekiel, these mythical apocalyptic features. He said the Pope is the very Antichrist, worse even than Jews and Turks and Tartars. He wrote an article of faith called the Small Called Articles, condensing the Christian faith, which is part of our Lutheran confessions. Every pastor says they will support it. And in those small articles, he's very vociferous in criticizing Jews as well as Islamic people. He even wrote a book called, or a treatise on Jews and their lies, in which he said their synagogues ought to be burned, their houses should be razed, their books and Talmud, the Torah should be destroyed. They should not be allowed to travel and should be allowed only to have laboring jobs in the fields. Well, what are we to make of this? I frankly wish Luther had passed away earlier, because early in his life, he was not like this when he wrote the best of his theology. Or I wish he'd have lived forever to see how we are now having wonderful relationships with the Jews throughout the world, because we realize now that Christianity and Judaism are branches of the same tree, called by God. Let's conclude with this hymn, which I think speaks appropriately to our topic today. Glories of your name are spoken, Zion, city of our God. He whose word cannot be broken formed you for his own abode. On the rock of ages founded, what can shake your sure repose? With salvation's walls surrounded, you may smile at all your foes. God bless you today.